Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money so easily? Like it just naturally flows into their lives, while others, no matter how hard they work, always seem to be struggling, scraping by, just trying to make ends meet? Is it just luck? Do they have better opportunities? Or is there some kind of secret they know that we don't? We hear the sighs and worries all around us, don't we? Oh, if only I had more money. How can I possibly save anything when I can barely cover my expenses? I guess I'll just have to wait until I win the lottery or get some huge inheritance before I can even think about being wealthy. Sound familiar? These thoughts can feel like a heavy cloud hanging over us, making us feel powerless and sometimes even a bit down about our financial situation. Many of us, maybe you and me included, grew up thinking that managing money is some complicated high-level thing only for financial experts or people who are already rolling in dough. I barely have any money. What's there to manage? Perhaps you thought that or heard someone say it. And that mindset, that I'll learn to manage money when I have more money, thinking, is actually a sneaky trap that keeps us stuck in a cycle of never having enough. But what if I told you that the real difference doesn't lie in the amount of money you have right now or the opportunities that come your way, but deep down inside, in how you think about money? What if I told you there's a way you can start changing your financial destiny starting today, even if you only have a few dollars in your pocket? Sounds a bit hard to believe, right? But that's the powerful message at the heart of the book we're exploring today. The book is called A Dog Called Money. Why a dog? And what does money have to do with age? It sounds strange and fascinating, doesn't it? Well, this book isn't your typical dry finance textbook filled with confusing charts and numbers. Not at all. It's a fairy tale, a magical adventure about finance, originally written for children. Yes, you heard that right. The author, Bodo Schafer, a famous German entrepreneur, investor, and someone hailed as Europe's #1 financial coach, wrote this book initially wanting to teach kids how to understand and use money correctly from a young age, instead of letting money control their lives. But something magical happened. The book didn't just capture the hearts of young readers. It created a real buzz among adults, too. It quickly topped bestseller lists in Germany, spread like wildfire across Europe, and has been translated into over 30 languages. Countless adult readers have written heartfelt letters to the author, saying that this simple story truly enlightened them, making them seriously reconsider their approach to financial management for the first time and finally understand the real secrets to achieve wealth. So, what's so powerful about this children's fairy tale? What secrets are hidden in the story of a talking dog named Money? How can a seemingly simple narrative help people get out of debt and build financial freedom? In today's video, Booksmart Insights will journey with you through the pages of this book, uncovering profound financial lessons delivered in an incredibly gentle, easy-to-understand way through the adventures of a young girl named Kira and her very special companion. Wherever you are on your financial journey, whether you feel stuck, burdened by debt, or simply desire a more prosperous, free life, I truly believe that today's insights will bring you some clarity, some aha moments, and most importantly, the belief that you can change things. We'll walk through it step by step, changing your mindset, delaying gratification, setting goals, learning smart ways to earn, saving effectively, and even dipping our toes into the world of investing. Sound good? All right then. Grab your favorite drink, find a comfy spot, and let's begin our exploration of A Dog Called Money. Our story begins with Kira, a young girl who's just moved to a new place under difficult circumstances. Her family is in the midst of a serious financial crisis. Her parents mortgaged their home and are now facing the threat of being sued by the bank. The atmosphere at home is constantly tense, filled with anxious whispers and sighs about money. Can you imagine how Kira feels? A young child constantly hears worries and complaints about scarcity. Deep down, Kira has a simple wish. She wants a dog, a companion. But seeing her family's situation, she doesn't dare breathe a word about it. The weight of adult worries seems to have fallen onto her small shoulders. But then, like a little miracle, Kira stumbles upon a beautiful white dog injured by the roadside. Her compassionate heart takes over, and she brings the dog home to care for it. Unable to find the owner, the family decides to keep him. Kira showers her new friend with affection and gives him a very special name, Money. Their bond grows stronger every day, and Kira even bravely saves Money when he accidentally falls into a river. Time passes, and Kira turns 12. The family's financial situation hasn't improved. Her parents are still working incredibly hard just to pay off debts. Kira's pocket money becomes less and less. She still longs for things, but the shadow of money worries is always there. And then, a very relatable situation occurs. One day, while watching TV, Kira saw that her favorite band had just released a new CD. Excitement bubbles up inside her, instantly pushing aside all practical thoughts about money and her family's struggles. She reaches for the phone and is ready to order it immediately. Just the thought of listening to her idol's new songs fills her with joy. Sound familiar, friends? That feeling of I want it and I want it now. That urge to satisfy an immediate craving? We've all been there. But just as Kira is about to dial, a voice suddenly speaks. Kira, you should think again. Can you really afford it? Once you buy this CD, you'll have no money left for the rest of the month. Kira jumps, startled, and looks around. Only Money the dog is sitting there. I must have imagined it, she thinks, and reaches for the phone again. This time, the voice is clearer. Kira, learn to control yourself. Otherwise, you'll go bankrupt soon. She freezes. She can't believe her ears. The voice is coming from Money. Her dog can talk. After the initial shock, Money reassures Kira and says something incredibly important. What you need to do right now isn't be scared, but resist the urge to satisfy yourself immediately. It turns out Money isn't just any ordinary dog. He can talk, and he's also a financial expert. And the very first lesson this special guru teaches Kira, and by extension, us, is a fundamental principle for building wealth. You need the ability to delay gratification. Delay gratification. It sounds simple, but putting it into practice is tough, isn't it? How many times have we told ourselves, okay, just this one last time, it doesn't cost that much, or I deserve a little treat. We come up with 1,000 reasons to justify spending on impulse, satisfying those fleeting desires. And then, at the end of the month, we wonder where all our money went. All those budget overruns, those little expenses that add up unexpectedly, often stem from our inability to resist immediate temptation. The famous psychologist Walter Mischel, known for the classic marshmallow test, said, "Delaying gratification is about giving up immediate satisfaction to achieve a more valuable long-term result." The children in his experiment who could wait to get 2 marshmallows instead of eating one right away generally turned out to be more successful later in life. This shows that self-control, the ability to delay gratification, is a key factor for success, not just in finance, but in many areas of life. But perhaps you're asking, so how do I know which desires to delay? Life isn't just about earning and saving, right? I need to enjoy myself too. What if I regret not buying something now? That's a very valid question, and Money clarifies this for Kira too. Delaying gratification doesn't mean you have to live an austere life, suppressing all your needs blindly. It means you need to distinguish between fleeting wants that might negatively impact your bigger, more meaningful future goals and legitimate needs that should be met. On the journey to accumulating wealth, endless desires are the biggest obstacle to financial freedom. Only when we learn to control irrational urges and minimize unnecessary spending can we stop being slaves to money and our own desires. So how do you delay gratification the right way? How do you know what to give up and what to keep? Money points to the key. You need to identify your long-term goals. Sounds a bit abstract maybe? But don't skim past this, because it's the foundation for everything that follows. Let's see how money guided Kira in setting her goals in the next part. After Money's wake-up call about delaying gratification, Kira obediently hangs up the phone. She starts listening intently to her four-legged friend. Money says, "From today on, we're going to focus on just one thing: how to make money and manage it." The very first step Money guides Kira through is an exercise that seems simple on the surface. Write down a list of the 10 things you want most if you had plenty of money. Kira eagerly writes down her dreams: a new bike, going to the US on an exchange program, helping her parents pay off their debts, buying lots of books, having her own laptop. But as soon as Kira finishes, Money makes a surprising request. Now, cross off 7 things and keep only the 3 that are most important to you. Kira immediately protests. "No, I can't get rid of any. They're all important to me." Money becomes serious. "Kira, only when you have a few very clear goals will you have the strong motivation to move forward. Too many goals will scatter your energy." Does this make you think? We often have so many desires and so many dreams. We want to be fluent in another language, get promoted at work, have a great physique, travel the world, have a happy family, and of course, have lots of money. But are we trying to juggle too many things at once? Could a lack of focus be the reason we often feel like we're spinning our wheels, not achieving anything truly significant? Scholar William Damon once conducted a survey with hundreds of homeless individuals. When asked why they weren't working, a surprisingly common answer was that they didn't have any dream or any goal strong enough to motivate them to act. He said, "Vitality is closely linked to purpose, and only purpose can stimulate vitality." This holds true for work and earning money as well. If we only work for a paycheck at the end of the month, it's hard to find the drive to grow and find ways to increase our income. If we start a business on a whim, without a clear goal and enough passion, we're likely to give up at the first sign of trouble. Only when we have specific, burning goals do we find the strength to overcome obstacles on our journey. Money emphasizes to Kira that everything she does from now on needs to revolve around those 3 most important goals. She needs to focus her energy on them, instead of being distracted by fleeting temptations unrelated to her ultimate destination. The more clearly and specifically a person envisions their desires, the clearer their path becomes. So, how do you keep those goals alive and motivating? Money gives Kira 3 specific actions to take. Action 1. Look at your list of top 3 dreams every single day. This is a constant reminder of your destination, of why you're putting in the effort. And not just reading. Money suggests Kira create a dream album. Find pictures related to your desires, your dream house, the car you want, places you want to visit, images symbolizing financial freedom. Cut them out and paste them into a scrapbook. Look at this album often. This is the technique of visualization, an incredibly powerful tool used by many successful people. When you clearly visualize what you want, you send a strong signal to the universe and your own subconscious, prompting you to seek out and seize opportunities to make those dreams a reality. Action 2. Get a piggy bank or several. This isn't just about saving coins. Every coin you drop into that piggy bank represents a concrete step towards realizing your dream. It's tangible proof of your effort. Money suggests Kira have separate piggy banks for each goal, labeled with the dream or a picture. This creates a stronger emotional connection. You can do the same. Maybe glass jars or separate savings accounts named after your goals. Action 3. Build self-confidence. Keep a success journal. This is a crucial step often overlooked. Money tells Kira, besides dreams, you also need enough confidence to believe you can achieve them. To do this, Kira needs to get a notebook and every single day write down at least one thing she did successfully. It could be something small, like finishing homework on time, helping her parents with a chore, or bravely talking to a stranger. Anything that makes her feel she did well. Why? Because our brains tend to focus on failures and shortcomings. A success journal helps us consciously acknowledge and record our achievements, no matter how small. Gradually, this builds solid self-confidence. You start believing, hey, I can do things. I am capable of solving problems. I can reach my goals if I try. This confidence is the vital fuel you need to take risks and persevere on the path to your dreams. Many readers of this book share that keeping a success journal was one of the smallest changes that made the biggest impact on their lives. So Kira now has clear goals, tools to nurture her dreams, album, piggy banks, and a way to build confidence, success journal. Everything seems set, but a big question remains. How can a 12-year-old girl with no experience or capital actually earn money? Where are the opportunities? This is likely a concern for many of us when we start thinking about increasing our income. I don't have any special skills. I don't have capital. I don't know where to start. Can these invisible barriers be overcome? Let's see what advice money gives Kira in the next part. Facing Kira's anxiety about how a child could possibly earn money, Money said something profound. Stop thinking about what you can't do. You need to look for opportunities in what other people need. Look for opportunities in what other people need. This is the essence of earning money in any field. Money is fundamentally an exchange of value. When you provide a solution, a product, or a service that solves someone's problem or fulfills their need, they are willing to pay you for it. Money didn't just talk theory. He told Kira the story of Daria, an American boy. At age 8, Daria started earning money doing simple tasks like delivering newspapers and taking out the trash for neighbors. By age 9, he taught himself copywriting using his dad's computer. Soon, he had saved up a good amount and even started producing TV shows. By the time he was 17, Daria was a dollar millionaire. This story sparked inspiration in Kira. She realized age wasn't the biggest barrier. The key was finding a way to create value. But where to look? Kira decided to ask her cousin Marcel for advice. Marcel was only a year older, but seemed quite wealthy and independent in Kira's eyes. And Marcel shared his secret, once again confirming money's words. If you want to earn money, opportunities are everywhere. The important thing is to observe what other people need. Marcel noticed that many families in their neighborhood wanted fresh bread on Sunday mornings, but bakeries were often closed, or people didn't want to go out on their day off. Spotting this need, Marcel decided to deliver fresh bread door to door every Sunday morning. Bread delivered on a holiday could even fetch a slightly higher price. Just working a few hours a week, he was earning 140 marks a month, the old German currency. On top of that, every afternoon he went to the local nursing home to help the elderly with small shopping errands, or simply take them for a walk. The nursing home paid him 10 marks an hour. Altogether, Marcel could earn nearly 300 marks a month, a significant amount for a young boy. Marcel's story gave Kira a more practical perspective, but her cousin added another crucial point. Look for opportunities by helping others, but make sure it's also something you enjoy doing and are capable of doing. Enjoy doing and capable of doing. These are two key elements for earning money sustainably and happily. If you do a job just for the money without any passion, you'll easily feel tired and bored and find it hard to excel. Conversely, when you do something you're truly passionate about, you'll have a powerful drive to overcome challenges. You'll constantly learn to do it better, and that positive energy will attract opportunities. As the saying goes, follow your passion and success will follow you. Hearing Marcel's advice, Kira thought, what do I like? What am I good at? The answer came instantly. I love dogs. She knew most of the dogs in the neighborhood and always enjoyed playing with them. Marcel suggested, if you like dogs, why not try walking dogs for other people? That's a brilliant idea, Kira exclaimed. She immediately thought of Napoleon, the dog belonging to the elderly couple next door, Mr. and Mrs. Hanicam. The old man had difficulty walking, so only his wife took the dog out daily. But Kira noticed she didn't seem to enjoy it much and didn't really know how to play with or train the dog. There it was, someone else's need plus her own interest and ability equals earning opportunity. Gathering all her courage, Kira approached Mr. Hanicam. She stated her case clearly. Hello, Mr. Hanicam. I'm Kira. I'm trying to earn some money so I can go on an exchange program to America next year. I noticed Mrs. Hanicam doesn't seem to enjoy walking Napoleon very much. If you need help, could I walk him for you? I really love dogs and know how to play with them. Her cheeks flushed with nervousness. But surprisingly, Mr. Hanicam didn't just agree, he agreed immediately. He was willing to pay Kira 2 marks per day. Even better, he offered an extra 20 marks if Kira could teach Napoleon a few basic tricks like sitting and shaking hands. Kira was overjoyed. She ran home, hugged money tightly, and shared her first victory. The first money was earned through her own effort, doing something she loved. What an amazing feeling! Kira's story of earning her first money might sound simple, almost like a fairy tale. But do you see the incredibly practical lesson hidden within? Earning opportunities are often hidden in the problems and unmet needs of the people around you. The key is whether you're observant enough to notice them, brave enough to propose a solution, and passionate enough to do the job to the best of your ability. Take a look around you. Are your colleagues struggling with something you could help with? Do your neighbors have a need you could fulfill? Is there a problem in your community you could contribute to solving? Sometimes, fantastic opportunities arise from very ordinary situations. And when you work with heart, fueled by genuine enthusiasm, doing something you truly enjoy, you'll find joy throughout the process, even amidst challenges. Love for what you do is the most powerful motivator. So, Kira had started earning money. What was the next step? How could she manage the money she earned wisely, ensuring it didn't just disappear on trivial expenses, but actually helped her move closer to her bigger goals? Let's explore the lesson on saving and building financial awareness in the next part. Kira's story takes another interesting turn. Her aunt happens to recognize money as the dog belonging to Mr. Goldwing, possibly Mr. Chin in some versions, a wealthy former neighbor. Kira is heartbroken at the thought of losing money. But when her father takes Kira and money to visit Mr. Goldwing at his luxurious villa, where he is recovering from an accident, a surprising truth comes to light. Mr. Goldwing is indeed money's original owner. He was in a car accident with money and was unconscious. When he woke up, he couldn't find his beloved dog. He is incredibly grateful to Kira's family for taking such good care of Money. Since he needs time to recover and will be staying in a nursing home for a few weeks, he asks Kira to continue looking after Money and promises to pay her well. Kira is moved to tears, overjoyed that she can still be with her special friend. And as luck would have it, Mr. Goldwing isn't just wealthy, he's also a financial advisor. Money, having lived with Mr. Goldwing for so long, has picked up a wealth of valuable knowledge. Now, both Money and Mr. Goldwing, through Money's recounting and later directly, become Kira's mentors, teaching her not only how to earn money, but also how to manage it wisely and get out of debt, something Kira's family desperately needs. Money shares the debt escape secrets he often heard Mr. Goldwing teach others. Firstly, stop using credit cards. Why? Because studies show we tend to spend more and more easily when swiping plastic compared to using cash. The psychological pain of handing over physical money makes us think twice before buying. Secondly, keep monthly installment payments as low as possible. If your debt payments consume too much of your income each month, you'll have very little left for living expenses and saving, making life feel suffocating and making it hard to escape the debt cycle. Thirdly, don't wait until you're debt-free to start saving. This is a common misconception. Start saving right now, even if it's just a tiny amount. Forming the saving habit is more important than the initial amount saved. Fourthly, always ask yourself, is this really necessary, before spending money? Cultivating this habit helps you clearly distinguish between needs, things you can't live without, and wants, things you'd like but can live without. Kira carefully writes these 4 points down, determined to apply them herself and share them with her parents. She understands that to help her family, she must lead by example, starting with saving first. Over the weekend, when Kira takes Money to visit Mr. Goldwing at the nursing home, he tells her a classic fable that many of you might have heard, the goose that laid the golden eggs. Once upon a time, a farmer had a wondrous goose. One morning, he was astonished to find it had laid an egg of pure gold. Overjoyed, he sold the egg for a large sum. From then on, the goose laid one golden egg every single day. The farmer's life became prosperous. However, human greed knows no bounds. The farmer started feeling that 1 egg a day was too little. Why doesn't it lay 2 or 3 eggs a day? Its belly must be full of gold, he thought. Driven by greed and impatience, one day he angrily caught the goose and cut it open to see how much gold was inside. But alas, there was nothing inside. It was just like any other goose. And so the farmer foolishly killed the source of his wealth. From that day on, he never got another golden egg. Mr. Goldwing explains the meaning to Kira. The goose represents your capital, principal, the money you save. The golden eggs represent the interest or returns generated by that capital. What's the lesson? If you want a steady supply of golden eggs, you must take care of and protect your goose. Never kill the goose, meaning never spend the principal amount you worked so hard to save. Let that money work for you. Continue to lay golden eggs. You can use some of the interest generated, but always remember to preserve and nurture the original goose. Hearing this story is like a light bulb moment for Kira. She understands that saving isn't just about putting money away. It's about creating a passive income machine for the future. Back home, Kira checks the money she earned recently, 74 marks. Remembering Mr. Goldwing's lesson and the golden goose story, she makes a crucial decision about how to allocate her income. 50% of income will become her own personal goose. This money will be carefully set aside, never to be spent, and will be used for investment later. We'll get to investing soon. This is the portion for feeding the goose. 40% of income will go into her 2 dream piggy banks, going to America and helping her parents. This is the money for achieving specific goals, the golden eggs she wants in the near future. 10% of income will be used for personal spending, buying small things she likes. This is the portion for enjoyment, so she doesn't feel too restricted. This 50-40-10 ratio might not be perfect for everyone, but the principle of dividing your income into categories like long-term savings, investment, feeding the goose, savings for specific goals, dreams, and personal spending is an incredibly effective financial management method that you can adapt to your own circumstances. So many of us make the mistake of thinking, I barely have enough to cover my expenses. How can I save? Or, I'll start saving when I earn more. But the truth is, as the book points out, if you don't develop the habit of saving and managing money now, you'll likely never feel like you have enough, no matter how much your income increases. Why? Because as income rises, our desires and spending tend to rise with it, a phenomenon called lifestyle creep. Without financial discipline, you'll always be working for money, instead of having money work for you. Author Bodo Schafer also wrote in his other famous book, The Road to Financial Freedom, nobody gets rich just by earning money. Wealth depends on keeping money. So let's start today, folks. Whatever your income, get into the habit of setting aside a portion to feed the goose, a portion for your dreams, and learn to live within the remaining amount. Learn to clearly distinguish between needs and wants. Try to minimize unnecessary spending and turn those saved dollars into your goose or invest them towards more meaningful goals. Consciously managing your money like this not only helps you accumulate assets, but also builds a sense of abundance and sufficiency from within. You'll feel more in control of your life, more confident facing uncertainties, and protected by tangible savings. Kira had started earning and learned how to save and allocate her income. What was the next step on her financial journey? How could that goose not just sit there, but actually start laying golden eggs? That's when she stepped into the world of investing. Let's follow her there in the next part. Kira's life continues to unfold in exciting ways. Her neighbor, Mr. Honeycomb, impressed with how well Kira looked after Napoleon, introduces her to a new client, Mrs. Trump, another neighbor who lives alone. Mrs. Trump is going away for 2 weeks and needs someone to care for her dogs. It's a bit much for Kira alone, so she enlists her cousin Marcel and another friend to help. And then, an unexpected incident occurs. While looking after the dogs, the 3 kids notice signs of a break-in at Mrs. Trump's house. They quickly call the police. Luckily, the thief hadn't managed to steal the valuables Mrs. Trump had wisely hidden in a tin box. To thank the children for their quick thinking and bravery in protecting her property, Mrs. Trump, who happens to be very knowledgeable about investing, makes a special offer. She will guide the 3 kids in starting an investment club to learn how to make their money grow together. You see, opportunities and good mentors can appear when and where we least expect them. On the day the club officially launches, Mrs. Trump brings a big surprise. She gifts each child 5,000 marks as starting capital, and she contributes 5,000 marks herself. Just like that, the club's account has a total of 20,000 marks to begin their investment journey. Mrs. Trump begins sharing the first principles of investing, emphasizing investing is actually easier than most people think. You just need to pay attention to 3 key points. 1. Investing should be simple, clear, and easy to manage. Don't overcomplicate things. Start with what you can understand and control. 2. Money should be invested safely. Prioritize protecting your capital before chasing high returns. 3. The potential for profit, laying many golden eggs, depends on choosing the right type of investment. And according to Mrs. Trump, one channel that can offer the highest long-term returns is stocks or shares. What are stocks? The kids ask curiously. Mrs. Trump explains it simply. You don't need to start your own company. You can buy stocks, which means buying a tiny piece of another existing company. For example, you could buy stocks of big companies you know, like Coca-Cola or McDonald's. When you buy stocks, you become a shareholder, a small owner of that company. So what's the benefit of buying stocks? When the company makes a profit, Mrs. Trump continues, they share a portion of that profit with all the shareholders. This payout is called a dividend. Also, if the company grows and becomes more valuable, the value of your stock will likely increase too. If other people believe the company will grow even more, they might be willing to pay a higher price to buy the stock from you. Then you sell it and make a profit on the difference. Sounds appealing, right? But Mrs. Trump doesn't forget the warning. However, there are risks. If the company performs poorly or the overall market goes down, the stock price can fall. If you sell when the price is low, you lose money. Or if nobody wants to buy your stock at the price you want, you might have to lower your selling price. Hearing this, Kira starts to feel a bit worried again. So stocks can make a lot of money, but they're not safe? Maybe they're not right for me. Mrs. Trump nods in agreement. That's true. If you try to pick individual stocks yourself, the risk is quite high, especially when you don't have much knowledge and experience. But there's a safer way to invest, which is to let professionals help you choose and manage the stocks. This method is called investing in mutual funds. Mrs. Trump compares a mutual fund to a big pot. Many small investors like us, who don't have the time or expertise or simply don't want the headache of picking individual stocks, pool their money together into this big pot. The money in the pot is then managed by financial professionals and expert fund managers. These fund managers use the pooled money to buy stocks of many different companies, often at least 20 or 30, sometimes hundreds. This is called diversification. Why is this important? Because if a few companies in the portfolio don't do well and their stock prices fall, there are still many other companies performing well whose stock prices rise, helping to offset the losses. As a result, the overall risk of the mutual fund is significantly lower than buying stocks of just one or a few individual companies. Furthermore, mutual funds are usually strictly regulated by the government to ensure safety and transparency for investors. After Mrs. Trump's clear explanation, the kids understand better and feel more excited about investing in funds. So should we use our 20,000 marks to buy a mutual fund? Mrs. Trump smiles but doesn't forget a crucial piece of advice. Investing in stock mutual funds is a long-term strategy. If you decide to buy, be prepared to hold on to it for at least 5 to 10 years, maybe even longer. Why? Because the stock market always fluctuates in the short term. But if you look at the long term, 10, 20 years, history shows that the stock market tends to grow very well. If you are patient enough, investing in funds is almost a low-risk way to achieve potentially very high returns. She even gives them a tantalizing example. Many successful mutual funds have maintained an average annual return of around 12% over long periods. Just imagine, if we invest our initial 20,000 marks in a fund earning 12% per year, and if each of us in the club contributes an extra 250 marks each month, then after 20 years, thanks to the power of compound interest, the total amount in our account could exceed 1 million marks. 1 million marks! The number is so huge, it's beyond the kids' wildest dreams. They cheer with excitement. The power of long-term investing and compound interest is truly magical. Compound interest, Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pay it. But another practical question arises. There are so many mutual funds out there. How do we know which one to choose? Mrs. Trump continues guiding them on how to select a good fund. Firstly, look at its history. Choose funds that have been operating for over 10 years. If a fund has consistently delivered good returns over such a long period, it likely has an effective investment strategy and will probably continue to perform well. Secondly, choose large, international stock funds. These funds invest in stocks of major companies from all around the world, e.g., companies in the US, Europe, Asia. This helps diversify risk even further. If one country's economy struggles, other countries might still be growing well. Thirdly, compare performance. Look at the performance charts of potential funds over the past 5 to 10 years. Prioritize funds with good and stable average annual returns. Under Mrs. Trump's careful guidance, the three children research together and select the most suitable mutual fund to begin their journey. In the following months, Kira's investment club meets regularly. They not only track their fund's performance, but also continue learning new things about finance and economics from Mrs. Trump. However, the investment journey isn't always smooth sailing. There's a period when the stock market suddenly drops sharply. The club's mutual fund loses 25% of its value. The kids start to feel panicked and disappointed. Maybe we should just sell, someone suggests. At this point, Mrs. Trump steps in again as the voice of reason, teaching them an important lesson about investment psychology. It's only a real loss if you actually sell. If you haven't sold, it's just a loss on paper. She explains that she has lived through several economic crises before and understands that market volatility is completely normal. Think of this as the winter of the stock market, she says. After a cold winter, the warm spring will eventually arrive. Usually, after just 1 or 2 years, the market recovers and starts growing again. The key is patience. She adds, actually, times like these, when the market drops significantly, are often good opportunities to buy more at a lower price. It's like shopping during a big sale. That makes sense. The kids feel excited again, thinking about putting more of their savings into the fund. But just then, Mr. Goldwing, the other wise mentor, offers Kira a word of caution. Don't rush to put all your money in right now, Kira. The market could fall further. An important principle in investing is never put all your eggs in one basket and always keep some cash aside as an emergency fund or to be able to buy more if prices drop even lower. This lesson about risk management and keeping cash reserves is also crucial, helping investors stay in control and avoid panic selling during strong market fluctuations. So Kira and her friends have now been equipped with solid foundational knowledge about investing, understanding stocks and mutual funds, the importance of long-term perspective, compound interest, diversification, patience during downturns, and risk management. Kira's financial journey has come quite far. From a worried little girl, learning to delay gratification, set goals, earn money, save, and now invest. What are the results of this journey? How have her life and her family's situation changed? And what is the final lesson? The right attitude to have when facing money management? We'll find out in the final part of today's video. A few months later, Kira's life has undergone some incredible transformations. On one hand, her investment club, thanks to patience and sticking to their strategy, started seeing great success. The mutual fund gradually recovers and grows, bringing returns beyond their expectations. Kira isn't just earning more from dog walking and other jobs. Her savings and investments are also flourishing. She's been able to achieve some of the dreams on her list, like buying the laptop she wanted and saving a significant portion for her trip to America. The feeling of reaching goals through her own efforts and financial wisdom is truly empowering. On the other hand, Kira doesn't stop at just earning and investing for herself. She starts thinking bigger. With encouragement and advice from Mr. Goldwing, she collaborates with him on a small project, organizing talks and sharing experiences to help other kids learn about finance and investing, just like she was taught. Kira wants to spread this valuable knowledge to more people, and miracles happen for Kira's family too. Following Mr. Goldwing's financial advice, Kira's father bravely changes his way of working. He hires help for tasks he isn't good at or doesn't enjoy, allowing him to focus on what he does best and brings the most value. As a result, his business becomes more efficient. He has more free time for his family, and most importantly, the family's income improves significantly. Kira's parents no longer have to worry constantly about money like before. The family atmosphere becomes much happier and lighter. You see, Kira's journey of financial change not only helped her grow into a mature, confident individual with a brighter future, but also positively impacted those around her, especially her family. It all started with a shift in mindset, with the simple yet profound lessons from a talking dog named Money. Looking back at the entire journey, from the initial confusion and worry to achieving early successes, there's one final lesson about the attitude that Money taught Kira, something crucial for all of us to remember. Do you recall how hesitant Kira was at the beginning when Money first started guiding her on financial management? She didn't fully understand why she had to do certain things and why specific methods worked. She just wanted to give it a try. At that moment, Money said something very definitive. Sometimes we don't need to fully understand why a method works. What's important is that it does work and brings results. Doubt is good, but never let doubt stop you from moving forward. In life, how many of us are like Kira initially? We hesitate to act because we feel we don't understand enough and haven't mastered every detail. We want everything to be perfect and to have a foolproof plan before we start. We fear failure and risk. We fear we might not be capable. And this procrastination, born from perfectionism and doubt, causes us to miss the best moments to act, to create change. There's a principle sometimes associated with Parkinson's law, which suggests a good decision, however good, cannot withstand delay. Only when you take action can you get the most authentic feedback from reality. Only by acting do you learn what works and what doesn't, allowing you to adjust and optimize your plan along the way. Don't wait until you understand everything about investing before you start saving. Don't wait until you have the perfect plan before you start looking for ways to increase your income. Start with the smallest steps, even if you're not entirely sure. Trust the fundamental principles that have proven effective, the ones we've discussed today. Delay gratification, set clear goals, earn by helping others and doing what you love. Save regularly using a sensible ratio, and start investing early with patience. Gary Becker, a Nobel laureate economist, once said, "Wealth encourages people to invest time and become more patient." Once you start consciously building your financial awareness, be patient in doing the small things and maintain consistency. Gradually, you'll enter a positive cycle. You invest time, effort, or money. You learn to be patient, awaiting results. You start earning money or seeing progress. You gain more motivation to reinvest and do better. You become even more patient. You earn more money or achieve greater success. Our lives are like ships sailing on a vast ocean. Your dreams and goals are the lighthouses guiding your way. Can you stay focused enough to always head towards your lighthouse? The right mindset about money and yourself is the fuel that propels your ship forward powerfully. Allocating your income wisely and saving regularly is like keeping the rudder steady, preventing the ship from capsizing in storms. And learning to invest smartly is like finding favorable winds and currents that help you speed up, reaching your dream destination sooner. So we've journeyed together through the fascinating and meaningful story of Kira and money in the book A Dog Called Money. From a seemingly simple fairy tale, we've extracted profound and practical financial lessons. Mindset shift is step one. Wealth comes not just from opportunity, but from how you think about money. Delay gratification. Learn to control impulsive spending to achieve long-term goals. The power of clear goals. Know what you want and focus on it. Don't forget the dream album and success journal. Earning is solving problems. Find others' needs and combine them with your passion and skills. Raise the golden goose. Save regularly. Remember 50-40-10 or adjust, and protect your principal. Invest smartly. Start early. Choose safe, diversified funds, like mutual funds. And most importantly, be patient. Act now. Don't wait for perfection. Start with small steps. I truly hope that today's sharing from Booksmart Insights has given you not just knowledge, but also inspiration and motivation to start your own journey of financial improvement. A Dog Called Money is truly a gem, proving that important financial principles can be approached easily and enjoyably, suitable for all ages. Many readers worldwide have shared that this book felt like a companion, a kind teacher, guiding them through their fear and confusion about money. If you feel you've learned something useful from this video, don't hesitate to find and read the original book. I believe you'll discover even more wonderful insights by experiencing Kira and money's story firsthand. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please support Booksmart Insights by hitting the like button so I know this topic was helpful to you. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. Which lesson resonated most? What do you plan to apply right away? I'd love to hear from you. And sharing this video with friends and family, anyone you think might also benefit from some financial enlightenment today. If you're not already part of the Booksmart Insights community, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos sharing self-development insights from great books. Thank you once again for spending your time with me. Remember, your financial future is in your hands. Start taking action, however small, starting today. Wishing you all the best in building a more prosperous, free, and happier life. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next Booksmart Insights video.